Greetings and good day to one and to all. Welcome back to another edition of our Bible in a Year series. I am your brother and your friend William. We are reading the Bible. We started in January 1st in the book of Genesis. We are now reading for Sunday, May 1st. Sunday, May 1st, 2022, day 121 in our quest to 365. We're in the book of Joshua, chapter 15, and Proverbs, chapter 12. In the book of Joshua, we'll be reading, this will be a two-part series. Of course, this will be a two-part episode. In this first part, we'll be reading Joshua, the 15th chapter. We thank God for his word and pray that he continues to be with us and bless us, lead us, direct us, and instruct us in our quest to continue to read his word and as we continue to journey through every day of our lives. God bless you. The book of Joshua, chapter 15, speaks of the land of Judah, speaks of Caleb occupies Hebron and Debir, and the cities of Judah, yes, and the cities of Judah. Bear with me, my brothers and my sisters, as this is an informal reading. We are reading the Bible for ourselves, and in this reading, sometimes I do have problems pronouncing some words, so thank you for bearing with me. Please forgive me. And there's some words in this chapter that may be a little bit more difficult than I hope. So let us read it for ourselves. Speaking of the land of Judah, chapter 15, this is the book of Joshua. Let's read the Bible. And the word reads, verse 1. So this was the lot of the tribe of the children of Judah, according to their families. The border of Edom at the wilderness of Zin southward was the extreme southern boundary. That was their southern boundary. And their southern border began at the shore of the Salt Sea, from the bay that faces southward. Then it went out to the southern side of the ascent of Akrabim, passed along to Zin, ascended on the south side of Kadesh Barnea, passed along to Hezron, went up to Adar, and went around to Karka. Verse 4, from there it passed toward Asmon and went out to the brook of Egypt, and the border ended at the sea. This shall be your southern border. The east border was the Salt Sea, as far as the mouth of the Jordan. And the border on the northern quarter began at the bay of the sea at the mouth of Jordan. The border went up to Beth Hogla and passed north of Beth Arabah. And the border went up to the stone of Bohan, the son of Reuben. Then the border went up toward Debir, verse 7, from the valley of Achor, and it turned northward toward Gilgal, which is before the ascent of Arumim. Yes, Arumim, which is on the south side of the valley. The border continued toward the waters of En Shemesh and ended at En Rogel. And the border went up the valley of the son of Hinnom to the southern slope of the Jebusite city, which is Jerusalem. The border went up to the top of the mountain that lies before the valley of Hinnom, westward, which is at the end of the valley of Rephaim, northward. Then the border went around from the top of the hill to the fountain of the water of Nephtoah, and extended to the cities of Mount Ephron. And the border went around to Bela, which is Kirjath Jearim. Then the border turned westward from Bala to Mount Seir, passed along to the side of Mount Jearim to the north, which is Chesalon, or Kezalon, went down to Beth Shemesh and passed on to Timnah. And the border, verse 11, and the border went out to the side of Ekron northward. Then the border went around to Shikron, passed along to Mount Bala, and extended to Jabneel. And the border ended at the sea. Wow, that is some meticulous explanation and description of the border of the land of Judah. The west border was the coastline of the Great Sea. This is the boundary of the children of Judah all around according to their families. Now we're talking about Caleb occupies Hebron and Debir. Now to Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, he gave a share among the children of Judah, according to the commandment of the Lord to Joshua, Kirjath Arba, which is Hebron. Arba was the father of Anak. Caleb drove out the three sons of Anak from there, Shishai, Ahiman, and Talmai, the children of Anak. Then he went up from there to the inhabitants of Debir. Formerly the name of Debir was Kirjath Sepher. And Caleb said, verse 16, he who attacks Kirjath Sepher and takes it, to him I will give Achsah, my daughter, as wife. That's what Caleb said. So Othniel, the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it. And he gave him Achsah, his daughter, as wife. Now it was so, when she came to him, that she persuaded him to ask her father for a field. So she dismounted from her donkey, and Caleb said to her, what do you wish? She answered, give me a blessing. Since you have given me land in the south, give me also springs of water. So he gave her the upper springs and the lower springs. Verse 20, the cities of Judah. We talked about the land of Judah. Now we're talking about the cities of Judah. Verse 20. This was the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah according to their families. We talked about they gave us the borders of the land of Judah. Now we're going to talk about the cities therein. Now when you study this chapter and then you look at the map also, you'll see and you'll be able to get more of an understanding of exactly where it was going on at. And still to this day, you'll still see some of these cities, if I'm not mistaken, still there. Verse 20, this was the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah according to their families. Verse 21, the cities at the limits of the tribe of the children of Judah toward the border of Edom in the south were Kabzeel, Eder, Jagur, Kena, Dimona, Adada, Kadesh, Hazor, Ethnan, Ziph, Telem, Beoleth, Hazor, Haratah, Kerioth, Hezron, which is Hazor, Amam, Shema, Moladah, Hazar, Gada, Heshman, Beth Pelet, Hazar Shual, verse 28, Beersheba, Bizjothja, yes, Bela, Ejim, Ezem, El Tolad, Kezil, Horma, Ziklag, Madmanah, Sansana, Leboath, Shilhim, Ain, and Rimmon. All the cities are 29 with their villages. In the lowland, verse 33, Eshtaol, Zorah, Ashna, Zanoah, En-Ganim, Tapoa, Enam, Jarmuth, Adulam, Soko, Azekah, Sharim, Adithaim, Gederah, and Gederothaim, and that was 14 cities with their villages. Verse 37, Zenin, Hadasha, Migdal Gad, Dilean, Mizpah, Joktheel, Lachish, Bozgath, Eglon, Kaban, Lamas, Kithlish, Gederoth, Beth Dagon, Naamah, and Makeda. 16 cities with their villages. Verse 42, Libnah, Ether, Ashan, Jiphthah, Ashna, Nezib, Keilah, Akzib, and Maresha. That's 9 cities with their villages. Wow. Verse 45, Ekron with its towns and villages, from Ekron to the city, all that lay near Ashdod with their villages, Ashdod with its towns and villages, Gaza with its towns and villages, as far as the brook of Egypt and the great sea with its coastline. And in the mountain country, verse 48, Shamir, Jatir, Soko, Dana, Kirjath Sanah, which is Debir, Anab, Eshtemo, Anim, verse 51, Goshen, Holon, and Gilo. 11 cities with their villages. Verse 52, Arab, Duma, Eshian, Janum, Beth Tapua, Afekah, Humta, Kirjath Arba, which is Hebron, and Zior. 9 cities with their villages. Verse 55, Maon, Carmel, Ziph, Juta, Jezreel, Jokdeam, Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah. 10 cities with their villages. Halhul, Beth Zur, that's verse 58. Halhul, Beth Zur, Gedor, Marath, Beth Anoth, and Eltekon. 6 cities with their villages. Verse 60, Kirjath Baal, which is Kirjath Jearim, and Rabbah. 2 cities with their villages. In the wilderness, verse 61, Beth Araba, Midin, Sekaka, Nipshin, the city of Salt, and En-Gedi. 6 cities with their villages. In verse 63, the last verse of chapter 15. As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the children of Judah could not drive them out, could not drive out the Jebusites. But the Jebusites dwell with the children of Judah at Jerusalem to this day. And then we're going to get, in verse 16, we're going to get to Ephraim and West Manasseh and the land of Ephraim. And we're going to get into the other half tribe. So we're going to still continue to look at this book of Joshua and the laying out of the land. We thank God for his word and pray that he continues to bless each and every one that reads, hears, and studies his word, seeks his word, does his word, and continue to seek the truth thereof. God bless you, my brothers and sisters. Let us continue to stay in the scriptures, for we know that man shall not live by bread alone, but he shall live by every word that proceed out of the mouth of God. God bless you. Heaven smile upon you.